Hello and welcome to Proverb Minutes. Today we're going to talk about something that the generations throughout time has had to confront, and that's the hate in hearts. Often people blame God for creating these problems and havoc in the world, wherever they may be, with the Twin Towers or here we see, and or the wars that have raged across the centuries and or currently. But this iniquity has always been with us, and it's a tough thing, but it isn't God. When we look at Scripture, we can see who's done these things, and it's men that have fallen away from God. Let's look at Isaiah 59. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies. Your tongue has muttered perversity. No one calls for justice, nor does any plead for truth. They trust in empty words and speak lies. They conceive evil, and they bring forth iniquity. So this is the thing that plagues humanity, is thirsting tyrants and people that are so engaged in power mongering. It runs at all levels, in the government, in the business world, and it plagues the people that are meek and innocent, family-dwelling children of God. And this is why there is grief, and we're not going to avoid it because of these people that defile the world and civilization. This is exactly what we're talking about. They speak lies, they conceive evil, mutter perversity, trust in empty words. No one calls for justice, and do they want the truth? Now, the truth is actually something that hurts, because it takes them off the path of their manipulation, their plotting. And, they were able to get on that airplane, not because of the truth, but because they had plotted a cesspool of lies on getting even with who? The innocent people? Or, claiming that an entire country is guilty. We're all guilty. And if anyone accuses another, it says clearly in the book, he who judges others will not find mercy. And if we would judge ourselves, we would not be judged. But that more often doesn't happen with the finger pointers in life. So continuing in Isaiah 59, that this evil is something that we're not going to be able to avoid, unfortunately, as long as we live in the flesh. And perhaps as the days move on, as we're in them, it appears that it's even getting worse. Their feet run to evil. They make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are in their paths. And the way of peace they have not known. This is their curse. This is their payback. There's no rest for a compulsive complainer. And the way of peace they have not known. And there is no justice in their ways. Perhaps the world has been such a place that, if your parents are murdered, with all the bloodshed that's going on, children are raised to be murderers themselves. And we certainly see that these days. There is no justice in their ways. They will kill fourth graders without a thought. They have made themselves crooked paths, and whoever takes that way, they'll never know peace. They'll never know peace. And there it is. A crooked path. It's not a straight path to knowing and being assured of purpose. The love of another. There's no greater pleasure in life in knowing that you have obtained that. I'm not even sure if there's a word, that epiphany, that excellence, that omnipresent radiance that never ceases. And to not have that there's no peace in not having love. And so we end here with Isaiah 59 still. Therefore justice is far from them, nor does righteousness overtake us. We look for the light, but there is darkness, for brightness, but we walk in blackness. We grope for the wall like the blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes. We stumble at noonday as at twilight. We are as dead men, desolate in desolate places. There is no sanctuary. There's only madness. So what do these people that wish havoc on society and hate in their hearts, that have never able to bury the murderous desires? There's no justice. There's no righteousness. There's no light. There's no brightness. And they are blind in their eyes. They can never see. We must pray for these people that cannot see and have no prayers, have no hope. They're lost. We need to have a prayer to those that are stumbling through life, that they may find a higher sense of truth. And in that, we need to return to our faith, because it's only through faith that we can come out of ourselves and have that lifting spirit in being able to worship something that is so higher than ourselves, the holiness of it all. And if we don't gain that holiness that's beyond reach, but within reach, we surely will participate in the problem and not the solution. Because the solution is to regain sense of God, respect, decency in our relationships. Well, thank you for coming to Proverb Minutes. I hope this has inspired you somewhat. It's a little distressing. Some of the things in the Bible are not pretty. They expose the heinous part of humanity, and this was certainly one of them. I may do another, on evil next time. So, thank you for subscribing. If you do, go help someone, and let's make it a better day. Let's walk up the staircase and come out of that descending area that plagues humanity. Bye-bye. See you on the next ride.